with the candidates and agents, and I can confirm there will be no recount. For those count staff that would like to stay and listen to the declaration, please remain seated. For those count staff who would now like to leave, and I will do this zone by zone, you may leave by the staff exit that we have created for you. If you would like to come round and physically see the declaration, then you may do so as well. But if you stay in your seats, you will need to stay in your seats for at least another 10 or 15 minutes while we make the declaration. So, the first staff zone that I'm giving that choice to is Zone E. So if Zone E would like to stay, then please be advised you can. If you would like to leave, then please do so now as directed. Okay, so I now give that choice to counters in Zone A, please. If you would like to stay and listen to the declaration, please stay seated. If you would like to either leave or come round to see publicly the declaration, then please take that opportunity now. Thank you. Okay, so Zone D, counters and staff in Zone D. It's actually the same choice. Please stay seated if you want to listen to the declaration. Please leave now as directed if you would like to come round and view the declaration, or if you would like to take the opportunity to leave. As staff are leaving, can I take the opportunity to say a huge thank you for the last 2 days. You've done a tremendous effort. Tremendous effort. Thank you, everybody.
So we are just now waiting for the count results to come in. The tellers are leaving after 2 days of vigorous counting, I would say. We will soon find out who the next Mayor of Bristol will be. The race, as we always knew it would be, is between Marvin and George. Just minutes now away. I know they're just doing a little bit of housework, so if you could just bear with us.
Zone B, please. Staff in Zone B, can you make your way to the exits if you wish to do so now? Can I just take the opportunity, can I see people who were in the cafeteria? Are you all here now? Could you just wave so I make sure you've arrived, all the members of the public that weren't allowed in before? Yeah? Okay.
Altogether, we had around 1,800 tellers who were going through the votes, and the room is filling up with supporters from all parties.
Counters and staff in Zone C, please. Can you now make your way to the rear exit? And if you do wish to come back to see the declaration, please do go around and come through the front entrance. Thank you again, everybody. Tremendous effort. Well done. Some of you I'll see tomorrow, and some of you I'll see at the Europeans. Let's start again.
We will get to this announcement as soon as it is made. Just a bit of housekeeping going on here. I can appreciate everyone that's out and about watching on their phones on Facebook. We will bring this to you as soon as it happens. The returning officer, she's in charge of administrating this election, is just making sure that the count staff get to head on home. That's what they want to do after 2 days of counting for them. They will be back tomorrow to do the elections. Remember, this is Bristol's biggest election.
I suspect that she's going to
seats up for election.
we're going to be right in the middle of the show. Bristol's quite nice,
heading on.
Postmodern Hitchcockian kind of way. Cameo. And right now you should see the shop with family all around. I'm going to go over there. That is George. He's still smiling. Look.
Just watching behind the camera, I can see lots of Labour Party supporters, many dressed in red, they look at red rosettes on. George Ferguson is also.
So apologies for this. We are expecting the results very, very soon. I believe they're still trying to get the tellers out of the building. We have people lining up though, so it's looking like it could be imminent. Now I can see Marvin and George both getting ready now. The returning officer is just speaking with them.
She might be forgiveness for
She's just coming over and chatting to both of the candidates. To remind you, this is now a two-horse race to be elected Mayor of Bristol between Marvin Rees and the incumbent Mayor, George Ferguson.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just one final housekeeping before I do get to this declaration that everybody's waiting for. Anybody that wants to use mobile devices now, so long as you do not move beyond the designated barriers where you see security staff, you're now at liberty in this area and anywhere else down towards the media area to use mobile devices, tablets, anything that you wish in order to record the occasion or tweet or any other form of social media or photographs. So please do feel free now to take out any of those mobile devices. We have cleared down the count hall, so this is no longer a count venue, it's a declaration area.
Nicola Yates, the returning officer, standing at the lectern. She will be announcing in just moments the results of this Mayor of Bristol election. Let's listen.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I will begin. This is the mayoral election that took place on Thursday the 5th of May 2016. The The statement of the result as to the counting of second preference votes. As the returning officer for Bristol for the above mentioned mayoral election 2016, I hereby certify that the total number of ballot papers verified at the counting of the second preference vote is 51,210. The total number of second preference votes given for each of the candidates remaining in the contest is as follows. Ferguson, George, Bristol first, 7,202. Rees, Marvin Jonathan, Labour Party, 12,021. None of the remaining candidates, 26,242. The total number of second preference votes was 45,465. The number of ballot papers rejected at the counting of the second preference vote is as follows. A. Ballot papers on which more than one second preference vote is given, 17. B. Ballot papers which are unmarked as a second preference vote, 5,725. C. Ballot papers which are void for uncertainty as to the second preference vote, 12. The total number of rejected ballot papers is 5,754. So can I invite George Ferguson and Marvin Jonathan Rees to the stage, please, and I will be able to declare the outcome of this election. As the returning officer for Bristol for the above mentioned mayoral election 2016, I hereby certify that the combined total of votes given for each candidate remaining in the contest is as follows. Ferguson, George, Bristol first, 39,577. Rees, Marvin Jonathan, Labour Party, 68,000. So I hereby declare that Rees Marvin Jonathan is duly elected.
Wow. I was just talking to people before we came on and just saying what an incredible journey it's been. It didn't just start at the official launch of the campaign, or even, that's my baby on the way out there. He's obviously not happy. This started not even 2012, but for me it started many, many years ago, growing up in Bristol with a real deep desire to see this as a much fairer, more inclusive city than the one I felt I grew up in. But to start with, I need to give a long list of thanks. I need to thank the returning officers and all the staff. I know I made my way around. And to thank you all for giving up your time to come and make sure our democracy works well. Something that we shouldn't take for granted. One of the saddest phrases I heard when I was out meeting potential voters was, "I've never voted and I never will." And I think it's something that people too easily take for granted, the fact that we have a functioning democracy in which we can make sure our voices are heard, and we can make sure that people with power are held accountable to us as the election. I want to thank too just those people that have worked with me. It's been incredible working with our candidates for the council seats, and while there's a big piece of me that would love to celebrate, I know there's a piece that's being held back because there's a huge day tomorrow that's going to talk about the political makeup of Bristol. So I thank you all for what you've done, and thank you for celebrating today as you wait for your own results to come out. I want to thank all the volunteers who have pounded the streets. I know people have had pedometers, and they've put up tens of thousands of steps. I know Helen Godwin-Teague is one of them. And also those volunteers who have come into the office. I've had people working without, just coming in and giving up their time to work on this campaign, and it's incredibly humbling. I said that last time out when I lost, and I say it again this time. There's something about being in the middle of a huge ball of energy in which people are committed, and they're focusing their commitment on you as an individual. That's incredible. I always want to push it back and say it's never about just the individual. It is always about the group and the collective action. I want to thank our wider membership across Bristol. Thank you to my fantastic MPs. I see Karen, Kerry and Thangam, and to my fantastic MEP Claire, who's made her way here as well today. Thank you very much. And as I said, it's never just one person. All the way along my journey, there have been lots of small conversations. None of them have been the conversation to take you across the line to decide to run, but everyone's made that contribution, and I can think back to many small conversations I've had in rooms over the years that have pushed me forward to become a candidate and to be standing here today. And I thank you all for the contributions you've made. I also want to thank my fellow mayoral candidates. And I think often as we've been going through the hustings, I've shared quiet words with people saying they don't really know what it's like out there. I used to box, and there's something about at the end of a fight that you would go and hug your opponent because we were the ones in the ring. Everyone else was just watching. And even if you've been hitting each other a little bit, there's an element of respect that comes because you were the ones in the ring duking it out. And I think there is something incredibly, for those of you that have been candidates, you'll know, it can be really challenging. And before going to the hustings, with all the online activity, everyone's a critic and so forth, it is a challenging place to be. And I have to give my due respect to everyone that came forward as a candidate. I just want to mention two people in particular. One is yourself, George. And it does go back to that piece I said, we can get in the ring and we can test each other. But I have to, I just want to acknowledge that I believe that you've worked for the city. You've done an incredible job putting Bristol on the map. And I believe your heart was in it. And I thank you for that. But I also want to thank you for Sunday. And it's one of those small conversations when you took time aside before we went on Sunday politics. I know they were setting us up for a fight, head to head, last interview. But George said to me, if you get this, Marvin, I just want you to know I won't be in your way. And if you need to phone me, you can phone me. And I really appreciated that. Thank you. And obviously there's Charles, Kay, Paul and Christine Townsend all put incredible issues on the table. I've seen lots of heart, lots of commitment, lots of passion. I want to pay particular word as well to a candidate I've grown to have incredible respect for, and that's Tony Dyer. I don't think there's a person who's been involved in this campaign who could fail to recognise your incredible insight, your intellect, your integrity, and the authenticity of the story coming from Hartcliffe to be a mayoral candidate. And I've grown to appreciate that, Tony, and I hope we can work together after today. Thank you very much for doing that. And I've shared a number of times because I think it's important that I wish I'd shared last time I ran and did past. I wish I'd thanked my mum. Now, I can say 40 years ago we would probably be sat today in a council flat down in Lawrence Weston, having just left the refuge in Exmouth. I suspect I was becoming self-aware at the age of 4. I was aware that I was a brown kid, a mixed race kid on a housing estate where there weren't many brown kids. I was aware of people calling me names. I had a sense of vulnerability about the circumstances my mum was facing, that we had very little money. We could go to the refrigerator and there wouldn't be much there. And I knew that times were tough. I have distinct memories of walking with a pushchair from Humberston Walk on a Longcross estate, along the road, up the hill to Shirehampton to collect a Calagas bottle, put it in the pushchair, and then wheeling it back to our flat, which was a cold flat. Mum tells me that we used to sleep in one room because the heat was so poor that we slept in her bedroom when I was a kid. Mum would have been pregnant 40 years ago because Dion's just 4 years below me. And I think it's incredible when I reflect back that coming from that background, that while it's presented me with many, many challenges, and while Bristol hasn't always been a great place for someone for me to live in, no city is perfect. And while it's presented me with those challenges, it's also presented me with the opportunity to stand here today as as your mayor-elect. And I thank all those people that have contributed on the way, and I thank the City of Bristol and the people of Bristol for supporting me and taking me from those humble backgrounds to today. And I'm saying today that I want to commit to making sure that my story is possible for all young people in Bristol, and that Bristol is a city that will build us left behind. And in many ways, it's those experiences and some of the incredible people I've met on my journey that pushed me to think about what kind of city leader I would like to be and what I'd like you to be able to say about me in a few years. Transparency, inclusive, sharing power, empowering others. Those are the things, those are the people that have made space for me. And that's what I want to do with this position, make space for people around me to flourish. At the beginning of this campaign, I asked a number of people, what kind of campaign would make you proud? It wasn't the big themes, it wasn't winning arguments or debates. I just wanted people to have the opportunity to be part of something, but at the end of it, they could stand up, win or lose, look people in the eye and say they were proud to be a part of it. And I think some feedback has said to me that a number of people have said that that's what they feel at the end. And that's not down to me alone, that's down to everyone that's contributed. We've had our tensions, we've had our ups and downs, we've had our disagreements, but we've overcome them. That's inevitable, right? But we've overcome them, and I think we've built real relationships. And I thank you, everyone who's given up, who's just sacrificed to be a part of that and contributed to that overall spirit. Thank you. And I want to thank too, just finally, you see my wife departed with the baby. What people don't often realise is that you enter into a race like this with your whole family. I've got my 2 boys at the front, please don't take pictures, we're trying to keep them out of things. My wife has just taken off with my baby who's crying. You know, it's a challenge. But I think it's something that I've talked to a number of my friends about, that one of the things I hope we can do over the coming months is to show how we can be involved in electoral politics as a family. If we don't make politics family friendly, we end up with a certain type of politician, and that won't be good. We need family people elected. We need to make the space for them. I love what the Greens have done with the job share as well, making space for much more people. A wider range of people from a wider range of backgrounds is the phrase I often use to get involved in electoral politics. And it's very important. So I'm going to be making space for my family, and I thank you for giving me up so often, as you will inevitably have to do over the coming years as well. But thank you all, and have a great evening.
Thanks, Marvin. Round 2. You win. And I think I also ought to thank you for giving me my life back. It's been an amazing 3.5 years, and first of all, I will do the formal thing of making quite sure that all the people who are involved in the election are thanked, and I've tried to thank all personally. because we know it's not the most interesting job in the world, but it's essential in terms of upholding our democracy. So thank you to Nicola, the returning officer, all your staff, and all others involved. And I want to thank the amazing band of supporters I've had, led by Fee Radford, who is a very special person. Because when you don't have a political party, and you don't have the same level of information, it's an interesting job running an election across a city of a population of nearly 500,000. And I knew we were up against it first time, but I knew we were even more up against it second time, especially as I'm a great advocate for us having all-out elections, but that makes it a greater challenge. But I believe, Marvin, that you will have a better time knowing that you've got that 4 years with a council that is established, and that Bristol will be better off because of it. And so I know that that was the right result. Marvin, I hope that you don't have to. Marvin, I hope that you don't have to put up with some of the barracking and bile that I've had to put up with. And I very much hope that you are able to protect your family from it, because I will be the first there to defend you if you do have to. The lesson in life is, if you want to be liked, don't stand for office. If you really want to be liked, don't say anything, don't do anything, don't be anything. But Marvin, I'm sure that you're going to be brave, and you're going to have to put up with some of this stuff. So you have my very best wishes. I honestly believe that in the last 3.5 years, as an architect, I would say we've built some good foundations, and I look forward to seeing how you build on those foundations. But it's your job now, and as I said on Sunday, I'm only here to support. This is the end of politics for me. My only badge, the only badge that I wear, is the badge of Bristol, and I want to make sure that we all work together, from whatever parties or none, to make sure that Bristol really shines into the future, and that we all aim to leave this city, as I first said when first elected, a better city than we found it. Thank you all.